Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cuban Monster. Got some choice words to David Benavidez, the Mexican Monster, the Ecuadorian Monster, the Dominican Monster. David Morrell. Tough guy, huh? Mira lo que David Morrell le dijo a David Benavidez, who just did a recent interview with Fight Hype, and David Benavidez said that he never agreed upon the David Morrell fight. I didn't even know that was fake news. So Dan Rafael and Mike Coppinger, stop lying to the people, ain't they? But this is what David Morrell had to say to the Mexican Monster. And I'm gonna say it like David Morrell will say it. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez, he's a big bitch, said Morrell Jr. His dad is a big fraud, always talking like he's some tough guy. But he's just a small man with a little man complex and a little pipi también, dijo ese. His brother want to be a gangster who talks a lot of shit, but got knocked out by Crawford and did a horrible job in the movie Creed 3. I like the movie a little bit, but I like Creed 1 better. Anyway, but the Benavides are a bunch of cowards. Maldito palomazo, mal parido. Eso es lo que él dijo. Anyway, let me keep on reading. This is the guy you call the Mexican Monster? He's a fraud. I say a fraud. This is the guy everyone is building up. I see a fat, insecure boy. Era gordo. You know, he lost the belt by weight, being overweight and stuff like that. But he's not lying about that. You remember David Benavidez? He was a big boy. But anyway, and let me keep on reading. I see a fat, insecure boy. That's what I see. Benavidez couldn't walk down any street in Cuba without getting his shoes taken. Now, I don't know. You know David Benavidez could fight, though. But them dudes in Cuba, crazy motherfuckers as well. So, maybe not all that accurate. I think that David Benavidez will put some fist on somebody in Cuba trying to take his shoes off. But anyway, shoes taken. Funny, he calls Canelo a dog. Quack, quack. Who's the dog now? Ooh, choice words by David Morrell. David Morrell's a good fighter, man. Good, promising fighter. One of the phenom in the 168-pound division. But David Benavidez is also a phenom in the 168-pound division. A proven champion. Leah lost his belt, you know what I'm saying, due to drug substance. And lost it again on the scale, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, David Benavidez needs to take accountability for losing his belt and not be in a position for a unification fight with a Canelo Alvarez, right? But David Morrell, who is a lot of people give him a lot of credit, you know what I'm saying? Even though that he hasn't done a lot in the sport of boxing, I think a little bit that David Morrell may be a little bit overrated in terms of comparing fighters to these fighters. But a lot of people always want to devalue David Benavidez for not doing anything in the sport of boxing. But he did beat Caden Plant. Canelo Alvarez did say that these guys have to fight each other. And David Benavidez actually did just that his last fight. And he's been a mandatory for Canelo Alvarez for quite some time. But did you hear what David Benavidez had to say early on Fight Hype? And shout out to the interview with Sean. He said that Canelo Alvarez should just say that he's not going to fight me so I can move up to the 175. So David Benavidez, you're draining yourself and you're sticking the 160 in the 68 waiting for Canelo Alvarez. As a matter of fact, you remember when you got stripped. You know what I'm saying? The last time you got stripped, the WBC put you as a number one contender to Arturo Beterbiev. You had a chance to be a 2-division world champion by moving up. Look, don't wait on Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you don't know what he's going to do. You don't even know if Canelo Alvarez is going to retire right now. Don't wait on Canelo Alvarez. You have the opportunity to carve your own legacy. Even though that we love to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez, everybody and their mama want to see that fight. The haters and the supporters want to see that fight. I don't even know why people have a debate about it or have dialogues or hating each other over it. Everybody want to see David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez. And David Morrell should know that even Badu Jack, who tweeted, "Nah, I don't want to go back down 20 pounds. Go fight David Benavidez." Everybody want that fight. So I understand that David Benavidez is waiting for that fight. He said that he's willing to fight Jaime Munguia, who has moved up to the 168 and won a controversial win versus Sergey Derevchenko, in which a lot of people always give some credit. He ain't never won the big one. But anyway, that would be a good fight as well for the Mexican people. You know, Canelo Alvarez said that he wouldn't fight Mexicans, and maybe the Jaime Munguia and David Benavidez would be like, fuck that Mexican. Let's fight. Let's just fight each other and make money for our family. Look, I'ma say this: David Benavidez, you gotta David Benavidez got a contract. He don't need to wait on Canelo Alvarez. We love to see the fight, but if Canelo Alvarez has not indicated that he's willing to fight you, move on. Don't dictate your career and don't waste your prime years waiting on Canelo Alvarez. Keep on doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep that momentum of fighting these type of fights like you did Caleb Plant. If you want to fight Charlie, you want to fight Demetrius Andre, who have you stated, you called out Demetrius Andre and said that nobody want to fight Demetrius Andre. That's a fight right there. Demetrius Andre is also in camp right now in the mini camp, preparing himself for whatever comes to his table. But keep on moving up. If you got to move up to the 175, fight Bivol or go up there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best thing that David Benavidez should do right now is not wait for Canelo Alvarez. We don't know what Canelo Alvarez wants, what he's going to do, his plans. Canelo Alvarez really got nothing to prove. The undisputed, super middleweight undisputed, you know, cash cow of the sport of boxing, King Nelo, a.k.a. Cartelo, a.k.a. Cash Nelo, a.k.a. Payday, a.k.a. get the fuck out of here, man. Do what Jamel Charlo did at 154 pounds and carve your own legacy, because I think that David Benavidez at his age could do so. You could do a lot of things. And maybe Canelo Alvarez down the line, if you want that work, he'll get that work. But you just keep on having that same momentum. If you don't feel like you're going to get the fights in 107 and 168, don't shrink yourself. Don't drain yourself. Go in 175 where you're mostly comfortable. And then maybe, you know, tell the WBC, if they don't want the WBC on the line for Beterbiev and Bivol, man, tell them to vacate the title, and then you could fight for that title or something. Because I think the WBC is actually openly discriminating against Russian fighters, and I don't think it's fair. And I think a lot of people is giving the WBC and Mauricio Sudamon a pass for it. But look, David Morrell got some choice words. I think David Morrell got a lot of work to do. In my opinion, I understand he want to call this guy Doug, but at the end of the day, you're not in line for that fight. Yes, you're a WBA regular. Your resume is not all that great to be calling people Dougs and stuff like that. But it's a great fight. And also, David Benavidez said that as a potential fight if he can't get the Jaime Munguia fight. And the contract that he has could have a David Morrell, a Andrade, and a Charlo, which Jose Benavidez Sr. has stated. Let me know what you think of the backlash or whatever, or the drama that they have right now. I know there's a lot of frustration. David Morrell, it has the skills and talent to compete with David Benavidez, but is David Benavidez looking at David Morrell like, yo, I'm trying to get Canelo Alvarez, I'm positioned for Canelo Alvarez, and now I gotta fight you. Well, a lot of people really don't know you. Even Mike Tyson in his latest interview is called them something Morrell. He didn't even know who your real name was. But it is what it is. I think the hardcore boxing fans that follows the super middleweight division know exactly who he is. But I think he needs to get acquainted more with the boxing fan, in my opinion. I don't think it's a big enough fight. I don't think it's even bigger than the Caleb Plant fight, because I know a lot of people know Caleb Plant because of the Canelo Alvarez fight. It's a good fight for the sport of boxing, but I don't know. It's a good fight, though. I would like to see that fight. But I won't hold it against David Benavidez if he doesn't want to fight David Morrell right now. I don't know. Maybe it's different for you. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.